maitre d's and our restaurant staff are right there to make sure that everything is taken care of. You meet with one of our culinary chefs to make sure that you are going to be taken care of for the entire cruise. So yeah, that's something that we accommodate, and you know, it's awesome.
Well, that's great. And you know, a lot of times we think when we're sitting back at home and we think, wow, a cruise seems like something that's really big and beyond our means, but with good planning and saving, and with all the accommodations that they have for our seniors these days, it's just a wonderful experience to get out and get around and see some sights and enjoy warm weather and so forth. And you know, a lot of times people forget that cruises just aren't, eating and whatever. But I assume that you have lectures and folks giving tours and educational kinds of things as well.
And they have incredible child care if you have grandchildren. My grandchild she kept saying, "Can I go to the school?" And the parents can drop the kids off 7 hours at a time and disappear, have fun, you know.
Right.
And we stop at the ports in the Cape Canaveral. Everybody rushes off to Disneyland, and you should see what a wonderful thing. John, tell them a little bit about this ship, what size, and they always are interested in that.
Right, we actually are 93,000 tons, so needless to say, we're 1,000 feet long. We offer several different specialty restaurants, from the steakhouse to Italian restaurant. La Bistro is our French restaurant. We also have Chin Chin, which offers teppanyaki, as well as a sushi bar and a sake bar. Full-on casino, plenty to do.
Wow, sounds exciting there, Reed. You've been behaving yourself?
Well, you know, John, I always cruise NCL, and everybody knows I'm a cruiser from way back, so everybody's always asking me where to go, and I tell them NCL. But it's not so much because they have excellent service, the food is good. Compared to the other liners, it's better. But the best thing of all is they're cheap. They are very inexpensive. The least expensive line, for instance, I'm going to get $400 off my next cruise because I'm getting a credit card for me, which gives me $100 off for my first purchase. Gives me a $100 credit. I'm getting one for Jane. She gets a $100 credit. They also have a cruise reward program where you get $100 off if you agree to take a cruise within the next 4 years, which is forever. And on top of all that, I go on the Cruise Compete, which gives me another $100 off. So I'm getting $400 off, which means I'll travel for about $800 on the next trip. And that's for 2 people for a solid week of heaven.
You sound like the poster boy for the cruise line here.
I have this feeling this next cruise is going to come on. It's going to be next week. We're going to see that. You might have to cover for him again, John.
Oh, dear.
Yeah. Well, John does a great job, and I want to thank you and Jim and Chris for covering that 3 weeks I've been gone. It's given me a chance to just relax, wind down, and have a great time with Janie. And I'll tell you something, there ain't nothing like it. Taking a cruise for a week, and I do a back-to-back for 2 weeks because a week is just not enough, and you can't beat it.
Right.
And because of John's good work, we had a wonderful cruise this time, and I can't wait to take off in March when my next cruise will be. My next back-to-back will happen.
Okay, well, listen, Reed, we got a show to do here. So, listen, have a great time, and thank you, Shauna and John, for talking with us about your cruise ship. And I had just talked about the cruise that I just got back from, but I'm not going to talk about competition here, but we're just going to talk about getting away and vacationing.
John promised me he'll be taking care of you good if you take it out. And in the meantime, I want John and Shauna each to have a second or two just to say goodbye and close off.
Thank you, John, for everything. It's been great chatting with you. Hopefully we'll see you on, if not the Norwegian Jewel, maybe another Norwegian vessel someday.
All right, thank you.
And I promise that you'll have lots of entertainment. Have a great one.
All right, thank you very much for calling in.
Thanks a lot, John. We're signing off from the Norwegian Jewel, and I'll be seeing you next week anyway, so off and on. Okay. So have a great show, and thanks a lot for the time.
All right, Reed, you take care and say hi to Jane for us. Okay, folks, that's Reed Powers from out in the middle of the Atlantic Ocean somewhere. And it was nice to hear that he's enjoying himself, but it kind of goes right with what I was just saying about taking vacation. We all need to get away sometimes and break up the monotony of our lives, and there's another example of it. Okay, I kind of lost my place here. See, so I was talking about Edna, and we talked about Halloween. In the past, you've heard me report on a variety of different topics here, some of my guests, And a while back, you might have been tuning in on the show that I did on the Safety Village, Chautauqua Children's Safety Village over at the Hughes Educational Center, the BOCES Center. And I'm happy to report that it's up and running. And I just got an email from Terry Kinberg this morning reporting that while I was gone, that they had a special Halloween activity at the Safety Village. And they, believe it or not, had over 3,000 people go through there. They decorated the village. It's all little buildings, and the site is dedicated to teaching children all about safety. And as I was just saying about being aware of the children out tonight and tomorrow night, they're teaching the children how to trick or treat safely and where to go and where not to go and how to cross the streets and so forth. And so the Safety Village is going great guns. They are talking about at Christmas time to have something called, this is new, brand new idea, Christmas in the Village, and they're going to decorate it, and they're talking about having horse-drawn sleighs, Christmas tree auction. They're going to have the place all lit up with Christmas decorations and lights, some cocoa and coffee. Big plans coming up. I'm not sure when the actual activity will be, but just thinking about that, wouldn't it be nice to be able to take your grandchildren, your own children someplace, teach them about safety, and at the same time enjoy the holidays and in a safe environment. The children of our school systems will be going there for bike safety, pedestrian safety, fire safety, just having good plans at home for in the event there is a fire, teaching the children how to get their family together and have a plan. Boy, there's all kinds of safety they're going to be talking about. Just to remind you, this is a live show. We will be taking calls. If anybody has an announcement, a birthday, anniversary, a special event that's coming up, we'll be happy to get that on the air for you. I also have a note here that the Mayville senior citizens are going to have some doings coming up. There's going to be a harvest dinner on Saturday, November 13th. A full turkey dinner will be done by the Christian Missionary Alliance Church of DeWittville. Let's see, December will be, the meeting will be catered by the Mayville VFW Auxiliary, and that'll be Thursday, December 2nd. And so that's coming up. And I think I have one more thing here. This is a kind of interest for most people. The AARP driving class is being sponsored for, let's see, November 4th and 5th at Bethel Lutheran Church from 9 to 12:30. And for information, you can call 661-9050. 661-9050. That's the AARP driving class, and that helps knock off a certain percentage off your insurance costs if you have that certification. So, see, I think that kind of takes care of the community news that I could find. Next week, of course, is the crazy week where we will get probably 47 phone calls from people we don't even know. Bill Clinton called me the other day. Thurman Thomas called my wife. Everybody is promoting their favorite candidate. Nonetheless, we have that opportunity to vote that many third world countries wish they had, so I would encourage you to get out there and exercise it, no matter how you feel about the topics and so forth. Just on a personal note, I've been busy still playing music out there. Some of you may have caught us at Support Restaurant at the open mic. They've been having an open mic each month throughout the year. November 19th, I'll be probably there again with my partner, Bill Drello. We'll be playing some Irish tunes and folk tunes. Bill and I also will be helping to open a new establishment. It'll be an Irish pub. I'm not going to give you more details on that, but keep your eyes open in the papers. The day before Thanksgiving, Bill and I will be the opening act for a new Irish pub in the Greenhurst area. Keep your eye open for that one. That'll be kind of exciting news. Okay, I think what I'd like to do right now is to have a little PSA, and we'll get the geezer. Is Mort here today? We're sort of doing a little bit on the wing. So let's take a little break. We'll have the geezer, and then we'll introduce our guest. Dave Momberger is going to be with us shortly. So let's cut away for announcements, and we'll bring on my buddy Mort Flexer, the geezer. Let's take it away. Oh, keep going, they said. So I'm supposed to fill in some airspace until they let me know. Okay, let's see, what else do I want to tell you about? Oh, we're going to set him up. Oh, I know what I was going to tell you. Silver Magazine. If you haven't had an opportunity to catch this, it's in your hospitals, doctors' offices. You'll find this in a lot of clinics and so forth in a variety of places. I have the great opportunity and honor to write my regular article in here called From Out of the West. I recently did one with my granddaughter, and they actually had it as the front article, A Day in the Life of Papa. And my granddaughter Kyla and I have had some fun experiences, and there's a lot of neat articles for folks that are 55 and up, and it talks about what we're doing in our lives and the exciting things that we keep on doing. Are we ready for Mort yet? Okay, ladies and gentlemen, it's my pleasure to introduce to you and reintroduce to you my good friend Mort Flexer, otherwise known aka The Geezer.
Thank you, John. Good morning to our guest, Dave. And good morning, ladies and gentlemen. If I sound a little punchy, I probably am. I don't remember the last time I slept late. But in a way, it's a good feeling. Especially with elections coming up and all of that. I'd like to sleep through the whole darn season. It's getting awfully frustrating. I don't know if John mentioned when he was showing you that magazine that he's a prominent contributor to it, and there's an excellent article in this week's issue, or this month's issue, that I recommend to you, recommend very highly. John's an excellent writer. But other than that, I really misread, because he'd cut me off by now. And my sleepiness and what have you, my lack of consciousness would not show through. John, thank you very much, and ladies and gentlemen, have a wonderful weekend.
Well, thank you, Reed. Reed? You got me backwards, Mort. Okay. Well, Mort, you weren't the only one that was kind of running behind here. Dave and I barely got here in time to get the show going. Ladies and gentlemen, it's my pleasure right now. I think, am I going to my guest, or am I doing a PSA? What are we doing? Just keep on going, he says. Okay. There's been something going on in Westfield that has been catching my eye for a long time. And if you think about when you're going down Route 20, there used to be a lot of car dealerships, and there's fewer and fewer all the time, it seems, unfortunately. But one of the car dealerships has been going through a transformation, a metamorphosis, if you will, and that's right down as you're going through the four corners of Westfield, and you go towards Ripley on the left. Used to be the Ford dealership, and that's kind of where I want you to be thinking right now, because right now we're going to introduce and bring on Dave Momberger. And Dave is the general manager of the Growers Co-op. Good morning,
Morning,
David.
John.
Welcome to the show.
Thank you.
David has been a trooper this morning, folks. He followed me over to the Chautauqua Lake, and then we went down to the old train station, and we went back to Chautauqua Lake. Finally, I found a custodian who told me that the studio was here, and so thanks for keeping a good smile on your face and sticking with me. How are you today?
Pretty good, despite all that.
Golly, unbelievable. Dave, we're going to talk about the new happening at that Ford dealership. But before we do that, could you tell us a little bit about yourself, how long you've been in the community, a little bit about your job, and just tell the folks, and just talk to Randy
Sure.
over there.
Sure. Morning. I work at Growers Co-op, grape juice company in Westfield. I'm the general manager there. I have a wife, Holly, daughter, Lexi, she's a junior at Westfield, and a son, Greg, he's a sophomore at Westfield. Mm-hmm. We've been here about 10 years. That would make us pretty new to the community. I don't think you're going to call me a geezer yet or anything. I'm not sure that's the greatest title in the world, but Mort seemed to like it. Mm-hmm. But we've enjoyed this community, and it's been a good place to live and raise kids.
Great. Yeah, I found that, I don't know how long you have to live in the community, but usually around here, you don't, unless you build your house, you live in somebody else's house who used to be somebody else's house.
Right.
And
That's right.
And that's how people know you. You're in the old Smith house and whatever. Okay, well, enough on that. But today, Dave and I are going to talk about something called the Concord Grape Discovery Center. And Dave, let's pretend nobody really knows much about it, because I don't think too many people do, and we're just getting the word out about it. So could you take us step by step where this idea came from